Hello and welcome. In this episode, I'm going to break down the James Gibbs building, and I'm going to use the techniques on my handout, the PDF that you will find in the files attached to this video. And I'm going to use this recipe formula for constructing the exterior perspective, and I'm going to break it down in a simpler manner so you can kind of cement this into your mind. First, I'm going to start to lay out things as you can see here, and the things that may or may not be immediately obvious is this is going to be my elevation that I'm going to lay out, and this is the plan. And I'm roughly going to lay things out as in this photograph, this picture layout, meaning I'm going to look at the 30 degrees on this side and 60 degrees on this side. What that does for you is, because this is steeper, you get less of that profile, and this is flatter at 30 degrees, so I get to see that nice front of the building. If we look at the Gibbs building, I had an earlier drawing, and I have the viewpoint that's made into a square. So learning from my mistakes using this method, I'm able to kind of determine what angle I'll place the plan at to arrive at a good composition. So let's get going. Handy tools I'll need for this project is a triangle with a 60-degree angle, 90-degree angle to help me achieve these 2 points, and my red pencil to illustrate to you what I'm doing. And then I'm going to recreate the first thing I'm going to do is recreate the ground line, create a horizon line, and a picture plane. And I'm going to use, I've taken this just for the sake of the demonstration. I have a miniature plan. I've shrunk it down, and I'm going to make some little cards that I could manipulate. And one thing that always throws me off when I originally started this project is always this border. And I always aim for the border, so this time I'm going to foolproof myself, and I'm going to take off that border and just have the building so I don't get confused. And it's easy to get confused on this type of drawing because you create a lot of lines in the process of making it. And we'll just shorten our error factor, and maybe I'll do the same with the other. I have some of these available in the room. You can always reduce yours. And this technique will work with any plan and elevation that you might have. Clear off the scraps. And we're going to plug these in. I'm looking at the picture here. We're going to recreate this onto my page. I've matched this. I've matched the elevation. Here they are. This is the ground plane, and I try and make sure that I am square. Ideally, I would use a little T-square, but we can also align a 90 degree to the edge of paper. And this is the ground plane, and I believe it refers to the ground plane of the elevation. Okay. And then this shown here is the direction of vision. And we'll label the parts so that we don't, so it makes sense. And it hits on the corner of the building. Do a little adjustment here. Got a little piece of paper. I can check and see that that's good. And then where this point tips, I'm going to do another 90 degree coming off the edge. This is going to create my picture plane. Which is going to do a lot of things for me. So we'll call it picture plane. And then we have, I'm looking at the parts, so we did quickly ground. We're going to locate the horizon line next, which is usually about 6 feet up from this part. See, it says 5 feet. This is such a tiny drawing, I'm going to put it at 6 feet. It's the height of your eye. It's the height of how tall do you stand. And we have discussed that the horizon line is really where your eye meets. Here's an illustration of what I'm talking about. This is the horizontal line. It meets your eye, and if you're a 6 foot tall person, and then minus the eye height here, maybe 6 inches down, everything lines up here, and that's you seeing into the distance. Okay, so I'm going to approximate the second floor. I take to be right about here. This one is clear because it's a modern building. You can easily see where that stops. But on our Gibbs building, it's a little ambiguous. I'm going to do the top of roof, create a line. Give me another station point here. We will, but that's not the horizon line. So these are just top of building, top or roof. And you see the second floor. Create the horizon line. Here on our recipe, it says 5-inch varies, and we know that that means the eyesight. This is a very tiny drawing, so I need to kind of look at the structure to get an idea. I'll say maybe that's a 6, and then I'm being generous. That's a 6 foot high person, and if, on your drawing, of course, you'll use your scale. But not on this little one. It's almost too small. So we're going to make this our horizon line. A little differentiation just to keep us out of trouble. Okay, we're doing good. Now we need to locate the left vanishing point, the right vanishing point. This is a 2-point perspective, so that helps us to know that. We want to do one a little bit shorter here to truncate this, and then a little longer out here. So let's locate the vanishing point. It kind of mimics what they have provided for us. So let's put that. And it's on the ground plane. 1 point there. And we'll make this a little bit wider. 1 point out here. Actually, let's make it even more wider, because I know in past drawing it makes a big difference. The next important line is going to be that station point, and for that one I'm using the top of the roof. I'm going to go ahead and mark that out. I've already pre-labeled it, station point. And these are the things that I will aim for when I go up to the picture plane. The interaction of when things drop down and get measured from station point to here, wherever they intersect on this line will be the place that you are going to make your drawing. In making my mini masterpiece, I have to have the tiny watercolor paper postcard that I am going to create out of this. I need to tack it down. I need to kind of position it so that it covers this building and it kind of hits right about here, I think. And this is a judgment. I'm just trying to match what's up here. And sometimes it may not be the first, and I'm almost going to tack this down. Okay. I need to reinvigorate and draw back over from the parts that I can no longer see, so I can create the station point, and I need to recreate this. I'm just going to draw right onto the paper. Station point, and then ground plane. I can kind of see where I need to bring it down a little. So it's kind of like an adjustment, but I'll go ahead and keep the ground. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm going to bring it down a little so that I have room to show the ground when I draw it. 1. Line things back up. This is moved because I moved the canvas. Make sure I'm on the 90. This is the new station point. Erase the old. Actually, erase this. Top of roof. Top of roof. Okay, here we go. Okay, all good. Now we have a ground plane. I have a little bit more material onto the board. Strike my 90. It's going to be the ground. And a little off. T-square would help. This is why we don't like the 90-degree method so much, because human error. You got a moving canvas. Okay, pack everything down. This will be a two-part video, but look. Okay, so now I have that. I can start sending my vanishing points and have them do some work for me. This is the fun part. I would say it's like playing pool when you start lining these up to create your view. Right vanishing point. I'm going to send this, and this is just a slight angle. Normally I would like a lot more angle, but this is touching the ground. That's going to the vanishing point. We are there. I will get one more opportunity here to let's find out where the building ends. And how we're going to do that, this is our station point. Station point finds the end of the building. It moves the line, and where this intersects the picture plane, this is where I'll do my 90-degree drop down, and this will give me that edge of the building. And I'm just going to try and, in my visible line, hold that edge. Same here, can't see it with the tape, but I can kind of see through the tape a little bit. Let's see, show you what I did up here. You can see how I've got this. And this is going to go to the station point. I'm going to angle it. I'm going to see where it hits, and then where it hits the station point, I'm going to bring it down, and this is going to be the other end of my building where it cuts off. Keep your 90. This lines up here. Bring it down. And then I'll go heavy where it's solid structure. And then we're going to come back and rebuffer the center. Here is the cube of my building. And I have to judge if that's a happy spot. It looks like it will be a good construction. And so on the second video, we're going to start adding details. So really quick, the most important lines. We have our ground plane. We have our horizon, which is how tall you are, and surprisingly, you're probably only tall enough for that first part. And the roof has given us our station point, and we have a picture plane that's touched here. So on the next one, we'll fill out some of the details. I'll close just to look at the recipe template. And I kind of see everything is kind of working for me here. My whole mission in life is to keep track of the different. I kind of find it odd that their vanishing point is above the second floor, but they're kind of looking down at the building. In our illustration, the scene from Ben Felix, we're trying to match as though we were walking up to the building. So that's the only difference.